All right, guys, we are rolling right along here. We're in episode 8 already. Can you believe that? I've stuck with it for 8 episodes, and it's really been a fun ride so far. And you guys, if you guys have kept up with me, and if you're not so new, at least the last month new, I jump around a lot. So this has been a really all around fun process for me, just to make myself stick with a park and just not abandon it as quick as I used to. And it's really been kind of cool just to get me away from just the just the regular builds, like some of the builds I would just do to just try to get a video out. Now, the videos, they seem to have a little bit more purpose. So, it's really cool, the reception that you guys have given this series, it's went on for 8 now so far, and just really cool feeling. And like I said, you all know me.
Y'all know me. Know how I earn a living.
When my creative process just doesn't lend itself well to series, really. I just kind of I'm a little bit scatterbrained. I when I see something that I think I want to build, I just build it and I abandon stuff on here. And so this was, like I said, this was pretty cool to just kind of jump out of that mode for a minute and try this park. So now we're adding, what you're seeing here, we're adding the park's first water ride. Stay away from the log flume for now. Just went with the raft ride. So having a lot of fun. I think the story behind it's going to be, it's like it's based like at an abandoned logging camp, and so you kind of like the guests are going to weave their way in and out of some of the different some of the different areas of the camp, and there'll be a lot of different little weird happenings going on and stuff. But another thing that we had talked about an episode ago is when I was kind of hinting around about this water ride, was not wanting to, or make sure it's not very close to Twin Peaks Mine. And you can see, like, when I back out or when we slow down here in a little bit and we jump in the park real time, it is a pretty good bit of distance away. I've left a little bit of gap. I think I picked out a really good spot for it, right past the bend of the creek and that little peninsula where the magic twirl sets around. It like everything in this park, it's so weird. It just fits perfectly, like wherever I first think I want to put it. Like I was eyeing this spot, maybe a little bit farther over, but that's another thing where it's awesome, where you guys come in. And the census was pretty much, everybody was like, no, don't put it right there by Twin Peaks. That's too close. There's too much going on, and it's just, it doesn't fit right there. And you guys were exactly right. So shifted it over a little bit to the left. And I think the way it sets, the way the creek bends, because see, the main part of the ride, it almost sets out on its own little peninsula. It's almost like this raft ride is on an island formed by the creek. And it lends itself to theming really well. The design is coming along really well. And the sight lines still look really cool. Like if you're making your way past Twin Peaks, this will be on your left if you come from the Twin Peaks way, and it'll be on your right if you come from like say you pass up the 50s area, it will be on your right. And the sight lines, they work out really good. The one thing that I needed to be careful with on this is another thing. I didn't want it to be seen across the whole park, just kind of like Dollywood is. A lot of the stuff, the sight lines aren't really clean until like you won't see the sight lines until I want you to see the sight lines, and that's kind of why I'm really digging this park. The sight lines, the stories, they work out really well, and it's like the guests can be immersed in that section of the park they're in. They're not like looking across. You can't like be in the 50s area and really make out much of the Twin Peaks. It just doesn't work out like that with the vegetation and the path layout, and that is what's really fun. You really have to wait for those reveal points. So, that's just something that's worked out well with this layout. I know, like, really hardly anything is elevated except for this and Twin Peak, but it's really weird. Even with this stuff, it's elevated, but it's like it's out of the way. Like, you don't really get a sense of the elevation until you're right up on it. Kind of like Expedition Everest. It's a giant, huge, facade, but you don't really get that sense until you're like right there. They have this little viewing area where how if you're setting down on the bottom of the after you've come down backwards and you're sitting at the bottom waiting to launch back out the side of the mountain. You really get a sense of scale on that when you're actually standing there. And I might put a little clip up in the corner right here in a second to just kind of show you that kind of forced perspective that they use, that certainly that Disney is famous for. But that is kind of the design that I'm going with not only the yet to be unnamed water ride here, but with Twin Peaks. It's a lot of forced perspective, a lot of just you kind of have to be up on it before you realize kind of just how tall up it is. So, like I said, still having a lot of fun with this park, still rolling with it. Got a lot going on this weekend and this week. If you guys didn't know, we launched Planko Spotlights, so it has its own YouTube now, and it's got its own Twitter and all that, and we're really getting all that up and running and rolling. And SP Ridley and I actually filmed. Before I filmed this, him and I filmed two videos. Yeah, we filmed two videos to kind of get that rolling, because there's about 12 or 13 of us, I believe. So we figured we're shooting for daily videos. If we just break it down to like all 13 of us or 12 of us, however many it is, if we just do 2 videos a month, we should be able to work it out to where we get a video out a day. So be on the lookout for that. And if you haven't subscribed to the Planko Spotlights, just go over there and give us a sub on that. All of that channel, everything about it is to help Special Effect. All proceeds go to Special Effect. And if you're not familiar with Special Effect, it's a company, it's a charity in England that actually helps disabled gamers be actually able to play video games, because we know a lot of these people, like, they're so confined to their living rooms and their bedrooms or wherever their care's being provided at, that we just figured there was not a better charity that we could partner ourselves with. And it's some of the biggest names in Planet Coaster: Delady Signer, Sylv, Geekism, Commando Santa, Adfo, Rudy, myself, SP Ridley, ANO Gaming, Ruble Trillions. I know I'm probably leaving. The Bro Coasters. A lot of the big time Planet Coaster people are involved with it, and it is. We kicked off our live streams yesterday, actually. If you caught any of those on Saturday. And it is just, I've never really been involved with anything like this. Like, I've donated when, Frontier does their Special Effect 24-hour live streams, but it's really, really, really cool feeling and interesting to be on this side of that type of work, and what those special effect guys are able to do. If you just watch one video, you kind of understand really how important that is, and how, like, for granted we take, just like me, just like walking downstairs real quick, jumping on the game like forever how long I feel like it, and playing with you guys, or whatever, and then you're just done with it, you get up and leave, and it's so trivial, like we take it for granted. And then when you see the guys and the little kids and stuff that they help on the on those videos, it's another thing too that really, it kind of helps put in perspective, like, your problems, and like you think you're having a bad day, you watch one of those videos and it will it definitely hit you right in the feels. And it's definitely a worthy cause that I'm glad to be a part of. And I said it on Twitter and maybe one of the last videos, but big shout out to the whole team, and especially to Lady Signer when she reached out to all of us in August and said she had this project she was thinking about doing and really wanted to help special effect and was hoping we'd jump on board. And it was just it was one of those things you couldn't say no to. So we just we're trying to get it up off the ground. We're already over 1,000 subs. I think we raised over £600 yesterday during the live streams all throughout the day. And it was just, it went off without a hitch. We really, I think we really knocked it out of the park. And now we're kind of like starting to get our act together a little bit as far as the videos go. Me and SP Ridley and I, we had to go back and reshoot some of ours, because it's really like when you're dealing with somebody else's work, it really it hits you as far as like how serious you need to take it, but with not trying to be so serious, like we're trying to have like a nice little fun vibe out of it. But at the same time, when you're dealing with somebody else's work and they have no clue that you're the one that's doing it, there's a little bit of responsibility to that. So you want to definitely do their projects justice, because I know if mine was being reviewed, I would want that kind of that kind of detail looked into that I like to do here. And it was kind of weird. There's like a certain amount of respect that you have going into when you're messing with a total stranger's design. And it's really neat. The designer actually isn't there, so him or her's not really there to defend themselves. So it really kind of puts the pressure on us to just come up with a good explanation to the video and review it the best we can. So we had a blast today. Time flew by, and like I said, we're not really hampered down with like worrying about, well, how many videos do we, we're not doing 5 or 6 videos a week. Like I signed up for, I pledged I would do 2 videos a month for it. So really, no, it's low pressure. The Lady Signer, she's basically done all the work for us, getting a bunch of that stuff ready. A lot of the designers and the workshop managers, I have basically I've just been able to sit back, and they tell me where they need me and what they need me to review. So it's worked out perfect for me. And those guys have definitely put in a lot of work. A lot more goes behind the scenes on this type of deal than I ever would have originally thought, in the meetings and the planning that goes into it, and just getting the green light and making sure we could do it. And big shout out to Bo for was phenomenal getting us a bunch of those keys and stuff that we could give away during those streams. Really hats off to Bo and Zach and Paige and all of those guys for helping us. Zach even put us in contact with Special Effect, and everybody we've had to email with those guys have been great. They said anything you all need. They gave us all those videos to use, and it's just been top notch, top of the shelf type people to work with. And they're all in it just to get the word out and help these people, man. So it's definitely something cool that I think, well, I'll be able to look back on for years and and say, well, hopefully it goes on for years. But, even if it doesn't, this is something that, a man can look back on and be proud of, that, we, if anything, we tried to make a little bit of a difference and try to help getting these systems set up for people that really, truly, literally can't do much more. And that is that's a cool feeling to me. So anyways, guys, yeah, like I said, go jump in, check out Planko Spotlights, follow us on Twitter, go give us a subscribe and watch that first video. And yes, we already got a video on there. It's about an hour long. Like 6 of us jumped on it, so that was a lot of fun. And yeah, so if you can do anything, do it. If anything, just go give us a thumbs up and let us know what you think about that video. But yeah, guys, so anyways, I know I kind of babbled through this time lapse a little bit, but let's go ahead and jump into the real time, and we'll just kind of take a look and let you guys see what this new area looks like. All right, guys, so here we are. And yes, so see, this is kind of this is what I've got going on. This is the abandoned logging camp, and you make your way out of the station. You kind of start off down this little drop hill, and then you kind of make your way through the front side of the camp. And you make your way through this where it kind of looks like the water and the little levee here is going to break through with the waterfalls. And I'm thinking like the entrance to this is going to be like I think the queue is going to start right here, right as you make your way over that bridge. And the queue will start back here at the back side of the bridge. So I think it'd be kind of cool as the little guests kind of make their way across this and go up the little covered bridge here, and they can look down on top of the people and stuff that are going by. So yeah, we got some construction walls up. I don't know if I will leave that alone for right now and kind of come back over to the 50s area and get some of that started like we talked about. But yeah, so see, originally everybody was kind of saying like, don't put the water ride right here, what we're looking at. So I definitely separated it out, and I think it looks really cool how it's kind of like that. I think, well, like with the size, they complement each other really, really well. So if you're new to the series, this is Twin Peaks Mine. This is the first coaster in the park, and this is like the second biggest ride that I've started over here. So yeah, we're getting us a raft ride going, and I haven't really done any more like as far as extending it back through here. So it kind of it stops as it goes underneath this thing. But I'm going to start some more work on that, and it's going to weave its way. I don't know how big of a footprint it'll have. These things, they can be quite large in real life. So, I'll kind of just toy with it, moving it around and kind of having it go through some different scenes and all that. But anyways, like I said, this is, I just think it worked out really, really well back there. And like I said, the hidden sight lines, you can't see it. It's not like this big sore thumb that sticks out. It's kind of like you don't see it until you're right up on top of it. And I think that is really, really cool. And I'm glad how this is themed out. I wasn't quite too sure about it at first when I started it. I'm like, this is something I'm just going to have to abandon. And that's why I was really careful, like I told you last time, not to put anything too much on Twitter or Instagram about it, because I'm like, these water rides are hard to theme. Like it is hard to make these look good, and that's why I definitely did not want to let myself get too excited about it, because those water rides, they kind of they lend themselves to being abandoned because they are one of the toughest things in the game to theme and make look right. Let's see if we can see it from here. Now see this little seating area, it kind of blocks it. So yeah, you can kind of start seeing it once you'll be able to make your way over here and up the steps and be able to see the rafts and stuff going by. So yeah, it's cool. It's not meant to be, like a big park weenie or anything. It's just a little raft ride back there. And sometimes even like doing the theming of it and all that, I keep having to remember, not, I know I keep saying we're not doing low budget, but I have to kind of contain myself. Like, okay, we're not making like a Grizzly River run here. I just, gotta tone it back a little bit. But, no, actually, speaking of that, a lot of my inspiration for this has come from a guy that I've known for a long time. I don't even think he's active anymore. I've known him since like 2012, but he was an old RCT3 guy. He went by James Studios, and he was really big on the Disney, wilderness type recreations. And one of my biggest inspirations when I first started getting into RCT3 and these sandbox simulation type games. And, I guess he's pretty known in the RCT3 community. We teamed up a lot with Station Jim Jr. But I was talking with Sylv just maybe a month or two ago, and Sylv had no clue who he was. And, so if you haven't checked him out, I think I'll link his videos, or I'll link one of his videos that kind of give me inspiration on this down in the description box. And he is responsible for not really just this ride, but James is he goes back to influencing a lot of how I design my scenery and parks. And I owe a lot of that to James Studios. So anyways, if you get a chance, go look him up. I really wish he'd get I wish he'd get back active with it and jump into Planet Coaster, because who knows what he could pull off with this engine and this game. So, but anyways, guys, I have rambled on enough for you. I will go ahead and we will jump on out of here. But I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on our first water ride that kind of sets towards what I guess will eventually be the middle of the park. We're kind of working our way out towards the middle. Still have quite a bit of room. Still want to start on a Fire Chaser Express type coaster. Don't know where that'll go. Might need to push out this way a little bit. And then, of course, too, I don't know about episode 9. Episode 9 may focus more on the 50s land expansion, because I really kind of wanted to get that going and fill that space out a little bit. So we'll kind of just have to see how it goes. We've got the construction walls up, and if you guys have been around the series since the beginning, if the construction walls are up, that means I might be leaving this for an episode or two, but we will come back to it and start working on it. And once you catch one of these videos and the construction walls are down, that's a good indicator that this ride's almost done. The construction walls are still up. I've still got some work to do on it. So, that's how we will. That's how I'll leave you with this. Like always, smash that like button if you end up enjoying this video, and let me know your thoughts down below on this whole series and how you think Wilderness Springs is shaping up. So, anyways, guys, I will catch you in the next video. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks.